We approached the front of the house, which was down a very steep stairway. It was set below the road level, like on a slope. And as we got to the front of the house, the offender came out with a hunting rifle pointing at the mother's head. I immediately thought, that's a real rifle, and put out an assistance call. I wanted it to remain a precise situation, so I wanted us to keep tabs on where he was. And the house had a square fronted bay window. He went one side of the bay window, I went the other with the dog. And then you're left with the tools that every police officer has, talking. You can't do anything else other than try and talk the situation down. So it was opening the conversation, telling him, you know, no one's got hurt yet, we can sort this out. I'm here to sort it out with you. He moaned about the dog barking, and I'd pushed the dog close into the house wall and was half exposed. Without warning, he opened fire and shot me. So you fly back through the ground, landed on the ground heavily, and you think, that doesn't happen in training. You know, that isn't something that we do. You know, we talk this out in training and they give themselves up. This hasn't happened. And I really didn't know what to do then at that point. Bryn was still next to me, and I made the decision to drive the dog in. So, loosed his collar. I knew I'd been struck in the leg. I couldn't move my right leg. And verbally drove him in to bite the offender. As he did that, the woman that was being held hostage moved away, caused a momentary confusion in the dog, which gave the offender the opportunity to shoot the dog, which he did straight in the head and killed him. So she ran past me, at which point he shot her. So there was the dog, Bryn, was dead. I was incapacitated and she was lying on the ground bleeding. I actually wasn't bleeding that badly. The round had stopped in my leg. From there on, I suppose the situation deteriorated. So he removed the silencer that was on the weapon, reloaded the magazine, and then I had the barrel of the gun put in my mouth. And you just try and talk. You know, there was nothing else to do. Fortunately for me, she was screaming, and her screams detracted him away from me, and he actually started to drag her up towards my police van on the road, saying he was coming back for me. Well, there was no way I was going to be taken hostage, and I managed to crawl out and into a neighbour's property where we barricaded the door in. Cut a long story short, I suppose, really, or to come to the resolution, he ended up being detained. There was a police family lived in the same road opposite the house, and the lady that had gone in there to hide, Pat Harris, who was a detective at the time, was in the house. The offender shot the lock off the door and went into the house, where Pat wrestled with him. Again, another round, narrowly missing Pat. They ended up falling down the stairs, where he was incapacitated enough for other police officers, unarmed police officers, to in effect arrest. And you know, the case went to court and he was convicted with a life sentence.